Tororo in this mother. Plug told me 15 a piece. That's the piece I dance.
Hey, we back, man. It's another great day to be on NSP with me, your host, Carolina's very own PM.
Baltimore's very own Clay.
My brother, my amigo, my partner. We back for episode 3.
Yes, sir.
It's feeling good. Even though the past week, we missed. So we missed a week. First, I got sick last weekend before last.
Then I got sick.
That you got sick that week.
It was that weather change, bro. It had to have been.
It got to be because
It'd be cold as hell in the morning. About 12 o'clock, it's like 65 and sunny. Like, you take that coat off and then you put that hoodie on and just walk out there. It's just, I don't know.
I'm telling you, we was both feeling the same way. So
Crazy.
Plus the 6ix9ine thing. If you're not from here, we won't get too far into it. But prayers go out to those who unfortunately lost their lives on the 695 accident. That also prevented us getting to the studio. But that's way more important than us filming NSP. But this week, first and foremost, we want to shout out to everybody, all the viewers, all the subscribers. Sitting right now, coming on episode 3, 5.3K views, 32 total subscribers. So if y'all watching this right now, we want y'all to get down there, like it, subscribe to the content if you're feeling us. And we're going to bring all y'all up on the screen. Y'all going to be all over here, comments, views, all that stuff. We're going to highlight y'all. But we want to kick it off this week because we got some L's, and primarily for the fellas. And for one of these people, I use fellas as a term loosely. Males as a term loosely. We had the Tyrese. We had the Jess Hilarious Co-parenting segment that we watched pre-show that we'll get into. And then when I say I use the term fellas loosely, we had the biggest one. We had 6ix9ine out here getting leveled. And I think it was LA Fitness, right?
I think so.
So my biggest thing, right, is how you go from the dude who's outside of the mansion in Miami or Malibu, wherever you at, you holding $1 million cash, whether it's real or not. You on all your ops, you on that. You doing it up crazy, Lil Durk and all these people antagonizing them, and now you in LA Fitness
Getting stomped out.
with a Montclair and some booty shorts on. First of all, they have my man down bad. A video came out before, and they had a couple. They in there working out. They doing their little thing. They look like an Instagram fitness couple. So they get the little sneak video. Hey, there goes 6ix9ine. This man got on a Montclair and booty shorts, and he on a Stairmaster. And what are we really doing? And it's like,
First of all, where's your security? Like, I understand that you done told on a couple people and whatever the case is, but yo, you should know that, like, at any given moment, somebody is going to try you based on the persona that you have and what you did. So it's like, all that money you had, money you claim that you still have, like, why don't just get some damn security, man? Like, what?
right. And I seen like a follow-up video where security was there walking over after. Like, what was you in the car asleep?
Yo.
And this is another critical error because we know 6ix9ine, he do the rainbow hair thing, the rainbow cars, all that. They took a video where he walk outside, somebody else from the LA Fitness, right? They filming, he like, hey, stop filming. He's like, hey, this is a free country. I'm gonna do what I want. So he walk out the front door. You see in the front, it's like a Lambo truck or something, but it's painted rainbow. Like, we notice you.
Right.
Like, what are you doing at LA Fitness? You done antagonize everybody in the world, snitch on all these people. Like, this didn't go away. You snitched on gang members. And some of them already coming home. It's already been 4 years. I can't even believe it's been 4 years already.
It's been a minute, but it flew by fast, though. Like,
I'm telling you.
You got to be more careful.
You guys to be careful, but it's like the series of events was kind of crazy because you're sitting there and it's like they had the first, you see a picture of him like bleeding, like crumpled up, but you don't see no video. So you're like, oh, he could have just, somebody could have just snuffed him
or something or whatever the case.
Yeah, somebody could have just snuffed him or something. But then you see the video and they Boy, crazy.
Boy got that bare knuckle sandwich for lunch.
Exactly. You don't want nothing bad or nobody to get hurt or nothing. But it's like when you that guy that's antagonized, it's like a moment that's like everybody I've seen across the media spaces, all the people that said, "Hey, we was waiting for this," was just cheering. Like they on the side going crazy cheering. Like finally.
And he glorified what he did too. That was the crazy part about it. Like even after all that, like he just was like, the hell with it. I'm gonna just still be me. I dare anybody to try me. I got these guns and not like, come on, bro. Like,
and you got hands and feet put on.
Yeah.
At the LA Fitness is crazy. I just don't know how you go from the guy, but a lot of people said that. I seen like guys like academics and them saying like, hey, you go from like this lifestyle and you antagonizing people, then having to spend hundreds of thousands of security a month. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna dry up. Like, it's gonna get crazy.
You better start investing in stocks or something. Like, you ain't gonna be able to spend that money. If you did, like, you better do something. Take care of your family, whatever the case is. Like, I don't know, man. Like, we was talking a couple episodes back about having a spotlight on you being famous and whatnot. But like, man, I was telling you earlier, like. Even I don't be flashing or nothing like that. I just was walking across the street, happen to see somebody put their hood on. So I'm like, all right, let me hit this corner real quick because it's a little dark spot right here.
Yeah, let me move out the way.
Yeah, so just in case he on some BS, I'll be ready. Like as soon as Ryan come to this corner, boy, getting a 2-piece, no biscuit. You heard? And by the way, we don't condone violence. I'm just saying, like, if I got to defend myself, I'm not going to let nobody just get the best of me. Like, I would never have my back turned in any type of situation. Not saying that he did, but I don't know what the hell happened. He just got caught lacking.
Got caught lacking. You can't be a big tough 6ix9ine. All this.
Yeah.
My advice to you is, hey, just move on. Start rapping in Spanish, singing in Spanish. Go over there, do what you gotta do, and go get that bag. Like, like you at the point now where you can stomp down LA Fitness. Like, come on, like, what are we
and I'm
really
pretty
doing
sure
here?
there's probably a lot of other people that's gonna try it too. Now that they didn't seen it done.
Oh yeah. Once somebody gets you, it's jail rules. Once the first person gets you, everybody think they could get you.
Yeah.
But aside from that, in the music industry, we got another one of the fellas, more of the fellas this time taking an L, and that's Tyrese. So recently, bro, got on Instagram Live. We watched this pre-show, right? So he got on Instagram Live with his girl, and this is what she had to say about him.
In the DMs.
Yeah.
We linked up.
He wasn't my type at all.
Damn.
My type was actually Paul Walker, rest in peace.
Off the rip.
But
Off the rip. She ain't even
he
waiting.
wasn't my type at all.
Wasn't even 15
and my type
seconds.
is not white. I'm just saying I was more interested
Don't
in
touch me.
Paul.
Don't touch
Don't
touch me. It's
touch
crazy.
Joe, it wasn't even 15 seconds in, and she just let him have it.
Even when I met him, I was like,
Don't
he's
touch
kind of old.
Yo.
I just like his smile. It's pretty cool.
This one
His
really
personality. His personality
bad. This
was...
just went really bad, really.
Damn.
So my real question is, like, if you sitting there, and I don't know how long they've been together, so this could be another telling tale of like where they at, because they can only been together for a week. We don't know.
Right.
I'm not investing in Tyrese's life, so. But like, if you sit in the crib with your girl, you know, of course, it don't even gotta be on live, and she just tell you, hey, we cool, but you was the second choice to the homie.
The live ended. Like, nah, the live got to end immediately. As soon as those words come out her mouth, boom, live is over with.
I'm putting my shoes on. I'm getting up out of there.
I ain't even going to make a scene. I'm going to just cut the live off and be like, all right, shake hands and go our separate ways.
Exactly, because it's not like it's.
I really hope that was a joke though. Like, it had to have been.
I hope that was pre-rehearsed,
because ain't no way in hell they both got all these damn viewers, and she get on live and say that.
Not only that, to make it worse, it's just like he kind of not feeling. He told her like, "Hey, don't touch me."
Boy was going in on that cookie before the live started.
Exactly, he was feeling it. He was about to have a good live. His girl turn up, do whatever they do. It was gonna be all right, but here she comes. Paul Walker was the first choice, and not only that, you DM me and I just want to feel this. Like, he kind of old, so she just keep going. Like,
God,
not only was you the second choice to the homie,
she said she don't like this teeth.
but you old.
What about
don't
the music?
like his teeth. You ain't saying nothing about the music. The movie's done. He just
Yo.
And then later on in the video, she like, you ain't really get my IG model lifestyle. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
Damn, I almost knocked the mic over that damn topic. It pissed me off.
I'm telling you, I'm sitting. I'm like, bro, you got it. Like, if we don't see in the next couple of days, like, hey, Tyrese and I'm like, I don't know your name, but Tyrese and blah 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 to split. If it don't hit the internet, like, come on, Tyrese.
I
like,
hope
what
that
are we
was a
doing?
joke. I hope it was for his sake, because it's not the first time he's been publicly embarrassed. Because I know the one time he went on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, one of them crying and whatnot.
Oh, I forgot about that. What do you want from me?
Yo,
What else do you want from me?
now that's probably that's another day we can talk about that, because more in depth it had something to do with his daughter. But we all know how us black men don't play about our babies, so you know.
I'm telling you, because Tyrese, he's with the music. He got some hits. He got movies, all that. Baby Boy, all that.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta start getting some more respect out here. You was Baby Boy, like
Jody.
you was Jody. We can't even. I don't even know what your name was in Fast and Furious, but I mean, come on.
Damn.
Then you had some music. Exactly. What was?
I can't even think of what his name was in Transformers either.
Look, if somebody put that thing in my head, say, hey, what was Tyrese's name in Fast and Furious? This is for your life.
Damn.
I'm done.
Me too.
I'm just gonna try to run.
And I watched all the movies too.
There
That's the crazy part.
and don't even know it. but my man's like, Tyrese, you gotta get some little more respect to that, and especially like once you at your level or caliber, whatever you want to call it, status of where you at in life and all you accomplish, like you got the IG model, quote unquote, who's probably much younger than you, don't care about what you got going on. It obviously don't respect you. I'm telling you, you got to pivot. You got to get out of there. Get in a car, pull off. I'm telling you. Put the Air Forces on, get the backpack, get out of there.
Hey, all I can say is I hope it was a joke, because damn. That's like me getting on social media and being told I'm option number 2.
Nobody.
God, dog.
And that, like, unfortunately, it really don't got nothing to do with Paul Walker. Rest in peace. Was the realization like before he passed? Because he passed some years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, was this conversation pre or post? It got to be pre. Like, if she's saying he was the first option, he still had to be alive at the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, it make it even more a layer, like even more disrespect. Like Shruti just in his crib choosing, like, Tyrese DMing me, but maybe I could get at Paul if I start hanging around. That's how I see it. Like, it's a cold game.
I hope it was a joke, but she might have been serious. Because you know what they say about jokes? There's some truth in it.
Yeah, that's what they say is always truth in a joke.
Damn.
But I mean, these fellas, it's like, I don't know what it's been this week, but every headline I see, every story I see is all fellas, and they all going outside. So fellas, we got to make a rebound. Our next one's a little more emotional, but we got another hometown comedian, Jess Hilarious out of Baltimore, and apparently her and her baby father, they do a internet podcast about co-parenting. So it's called Co-Parenting Therapy. But they got into a situation where on the video they have their son in the middle, and they're explaining, like, just ask the son, hey, what's one thing you feel like your father and me could do better, starting with your father. And the son's response was to the dad, like, you could just take us more fun places, and that's it. His dad asked him, is there anything else? He just said no. You could tell his son really don't want to say it, because as his dad, go on camera, make a real just awkward conversation. I mean, that's your child. You don't want to go against your parent, and then you don't want to speak out against him. Right. But then the dad's response was more like, hey, like, dad's been going through some things, especially you and all your siblings. I don't know how many other kids he got. I think he only got one with Jess. But then it started breaking him down, and he started crying, like, hey, you could just tell bro is really going through some things in life. And my thing about it was just like going into depth that far. You see, as an emotional conversation as it was, this had to be the first time this conversation happened. It wasn't
absolutely. That was nothing that was rehearsed. That wasn't nothing that was just like pre-planned. It wasn't we're gonna talk about this so that we can get viewers. Nah, that was a honest, transparent conversation right there, because you could tell when he didn't want to say it, that it was like, yo, I don't really want to say this. It's about to go on the internet. Like,
Yeah. Because I would have to have all this cut out, but we're gonna let you hear a little bit of the dad's response to this question being from Jess Hilarious to their son of, Dad, what do you think? What do you think your dad could do better? And him saying to his dad that, hey, we could go more fun places. So this is what his dad had to say.
Instead of telling you no, I just try to brush it off because I don't like telling y'all no. But it's times that Daddy don't have it, and I can't afford to take all of y'all at once.
Right.
But I'm trying.
And that right there, that's pretty much gives you enough because you could hear the emotion. You know, being a father, you could hear the emotion in his voice, and it really just tug at your heartstrings because us being fathers too.
yeah,
You having 2, me having 4. There's ups and downs. We've been through ups and downs in life, so it's like watching things like that. It's always been times like this. Mothers too, so we're not just excluding the mothers. It'd be like that too for mothers on their side.
Right.
Maybe single mother, y'all co-parenting, all y'all together. That people got ups and downs in life, and you just want to give your kids the world. So it's like when you're in a situation like that where you just can't do what you used to do, because I was talking about it with my wife as well. She's, I guess, before this, Jessica said he's always been a guy who's always on top of his shit. Like he's always one of them guys, and this is the first time maybe
things kind of fell apart. Yeah,
the first thing. So it's like not the regular. So when you regular, like you dad, take us here. Since you've been born, he looked like he probably like 10, 11, 12 at the most. So it's like, what you know, your dad's, we could do whatever. We going to the mall, we doing it, we get our little outfits, we going here, there, we going on trips. So it's like, once it all cut out, like all you think is a kid is like, well, what's going on? Like this stuff we usually do, they don't know nothing about no money or
what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, that's really like I don't agree with like publicizing stuff like that, but I do believe in transparency because like the persona that we as men supposed to have is like, yo, we're not supposed to be emotional. We're supposed to be the providers, the breadwinners. We're supposed to have everything in order. And this just shows like sometimes we always don't have it together. Like we try to hold it together as much as possible, but it's like, yo, it's nearly impossible when you got to deal with work and you got to deal with the kids and you got to deal with relationship problems or whatever the case may be. It's like you always got the weight of the world on your shoulders, and it's like something so small as this. It's like, yo, I know for a fact that I'm trying to do right by my kids and whatever the case is, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard. Like I can be transparent and say that it wasn't always easy when I first found out I was having twins. Like I didn't even have a freaking job. Like it was around the time of the pandemic first hit, I found out. I'm like, damn, I got to get a job. Then when I got a job and saw how expensive it was to have twins, I was like, yo, now I need more money. So now I'm out here working 3 jobs basically, to try to provide. So I get it.
And a lot of times you work to the bone just to get like the bare necessities. Like I know, especially for me, and you were present at that time. Like in 2018, I was like same thing, pretty much. Like when I was out there living in PG, I was out there living in Oxon Hill. If y'all not from Maryland, y'all don't know, but it's right outside of Washington D.C., like the southeast. Like I was living in the trenches. I'm sleeping in my truck to get more. So the job I was working at the time had 3 shifts.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go on a shift and then you go out and then kind of wait for the next rotation, if usually, so I was doing security at the time. Usually when you come in the next shift come in, if you just go in there and you say, do somebody want to go home? Y'all don't work today? Somebody always going to raise their hand.
Right.
So I quick get off my shift, then I sleep a shift, and then then I sleep one whole shift, which I can't remember how many hours it was. I think it was like 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours, depending on what it was, morning, midday, night. So sleep through a shift, then go right back to the next one, and like, hey, and that's how I was getting by. Like it was so, and then you don't realize like being in a situation where like you're bringing your kids to that environment, like like, you know, I was living in the trench. Like, I'm in the trenches. Like, I'm in the hood for real. Like,
you don't even want them to experience that.
you don't even want to bring your kids over there.
Right.
You can't have money for extracurricular activities or nothing like that. And it's just like, oh, we in the house. You just got to be like the best dad you could be in the house. You got the arts and crafts. You set up whatever little thing you could do in the house. You trying to go hard, go extra in the house to be like, hey, I'm here doing whatever. And it's like, so like stuff like this is tough to watch because it's like,
absolutely.
you got to work through it to get to it. But it's like that part where you going through the mud, like when you really grinding to get back, like it gets tricky, especially when you.
It just seemed like every time you dig in that hole to get closer to that goal, it's like you always have a setback or something along the way. So it's like you really out here working your ass off, trying to make sure that you dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's. And it's just like, yo, you just never catching a break.
Yeah.
So it's like the one time you feel like you getting one, it's like, boom, damn. Here we are all over again, back at square one. So, yo, that's definitely tough. Like, it's tough.
And it be even the smallest situations, like, especially when you down and out and you trying to it could be something simple. You get a ticket on the window. It ain't nothing but like $50. You don't even got the 50. So you in a car slamming the steering wheel, like everything just worse. So it's like you sitting there, because especially when it comes to your kids, especially when it comes to this, like all I really think is like this is a conversation that should have happened, but it's a conversation that shouldn't have happened on camera, especially the first time. Like we have that severe thing going on like that. I still fuck with Jess Hilarious. She's like her name says, she's hilarious. She puts out good content.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
I've seen countless great content from Wild 'N Out to the joint with Funny Market was hilarious. And I see them working together on a co-parenting thing now. This could propel them to both get bread.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely could. I just feel like, you know, I don't think she tried to slight him in any way. But I just feel like that's like us as men, we already embarrassed that we can't really do what we want for our kids. But it's like to put it on the internet, it's like, damn, now everybody really knows that I'm really struggling.
Yeah, that I'm messed up, right? I'm down bad right now. Like, especially as a father, like it's different when you like people notice when you put your kid in that middle seat, that's where it gets a little tricky. But
and seeing it as how she has the following she has, and you know she's getting all the notoriety and you know showing up at these events here and there. Excuse me, but it's like her son probably see a lot of fun stuff, you know, on her side when she's not busy. Because I'm pretty sure she got a busy schedule. You know, probably in Baltimore right now, probably be in L.A. or Chicago or somewhere. But you know,
getting booked and that too, when you look at it, you would think like. It's like the man's supposed to be the breadwinner and all that. So when you have the woman in the equation, who's the famous one, who's getting a booking, she's at the comedy show, she's on Wild 'N Out, she's
probably
on this
making more than what he making in one setting.
Yeah, so people on the internet will look at you and think you even more of a, oh, your baby mom's getting into it.
See, that's the problem with the internet. This leaves you open for so many people that this doesn't, that I won't say that doesn't understand. They do not understand, because I want to use my correct English language when I'm on this podcast. You get people that don't understand your situation, and then they just start firing off tweets and whatever and trying to make him look bad, and then she got to probably come out, God forbid if this does have to happen, but come out and defend him or whatever the case is. But it's just like stuff like that that's touchy, and you know, I feel like should be real private, because don't nobody really, I know I don't, unless I share it, I don't want anybody put me on a podcast like that.
Especially your personal life and all that. So it's like, all we can really do, like, hey, I pray for the best for them.
Yeah, for sure.
For real. Like, even though this happened, I don't agree with it. Like, I think it had like something like 250K views, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I hope y'all segment go up. I hope it keep going up.
Yeah,
I hope y'all get some bread. That gets y'all some bread. That leverage more opportunities for both of y'all. That make y'all stronger as a co-parent unit. And then for the kids, it's always gonna come out stronger. When y'all strong as a unit, it's and y'all on good terms with the co-parenting thing, ain't nothing y'all can't do.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand it, but some things just probably ain't for me to understand or agree with. But
different strokes for different folks, ain't that what they say?
Yeah. Speaking of misunderstandings and not understandings, like one huge thing like I've been looking at this week that I feel like nobody's been talking about. I'm not hearing. It's like you see it come up, then it's just gone. It's like these things, like speaking of misunderstandings, like what's going on in the world, like not just the U.S. but like the world. So we have two separate stories going on. we have a Pentagon releases that there's an object in our solar system that could possibly be an alien mothership that could release smaller pods that would come down and probe Earth. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what are we talking? Like, why is this not priority number one? Like, why are we not on red alert when the Pentagon said, yeah, it's like suggests that maybe, yeah, this thing could be aliens coming down to probe us because we was born in the early 90s. So, like, when you think alien probe, that's not good. Like,
Yeah.
when you think alien probe, you see the movies, and that mean they beam you up. You in your bed sleeping, they beam you up.
Right.
And then now they violate you. Like, what are we talking about? Like why are we not scrambling the jets?
I feel like a lot of these topics, they don't want to really put too much mass hysteria out there. So they'll say, talk about it briefly and then just move on from it. Because if it becomes like a nationwide thing and everybody's panicking, ain't no telling what's going to happen. People might start losing their minds. So it's like, I see why they put out certain articles that they do and how long they keep talking about it, because some people are unstable in this world. So all they need is for these conspiracy theories to come true, for them to lose their fucking mind, and then all hell just break loose.
I think the craziest part too.
But we do need to know about stuff like
exactly.
this. Like,
this is what I'm saying, because I'm not. I'll say
I could be going to the grocery store or something.
previous.
Next thing I know, just
pull you up. And now they now they got the Hawaiian sweet rolls.
then I'm sitting on a podcast like this the whole time, just
exactly like what's going on.
not even blinking.
They done lift you up. They done took the grocery cart, all the ham, egg, and cheese and bacon. It's all gone. Your family wondering where you at, and you pop up with the blank face. Hey,
I'm gone for 5 years and it feel like 5 minutes.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, like, it came to a point, like, the Navy and the Pentagon and all these other people that keep saying UFO. We don't know what this is. This ain't the first story. So it's like we keep hearing this over the past year, and it led me back to like us being 30, born in the 90s. When you believed in aliens back in the 90s, oh, you was the tinfoil hat hobo. Like, you was crazy. You was conspiracy theorist. Like
a boy on what was the name of that movie?
Which one?
I want to say it was 2012? Where the world was ending?
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah. Old boy had the radio station in the
And you know
trailer. He knew something was going to happen. You know what I'm talking about?
Dude with the ball head, he was out in Yellowstone.
Yes.
They just called him out. I can't remember his name, but they called him out for being, they say he like a nomad who don't have a cell phone. Only way to get in contact with him is his manager got one email that he can email, blah, blah, blah. So they say he or whatever it is.
Stone Age cat. That's what I call him.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm wondering how them people feel now. Like, they like, yeah. I told, like, the Chris Browns of the world who are like, you see them get on the interview, and I always say Chris Brown because he get on every interview and they ask him about the aliens, and he talk about the aliens. He believe in the aliens. Aliens is like his thing. Like, he just knows alien. Like,
man,
and it's okay because he got millions of dollars. But what about the dude on the street with the tinfoil hat and the sign talking about the he got that painted alien face? Like, does he get reparations? Does he get a check? Like,
no.
he been doing this for 10 years.
He get 25 cents in a cup and a you. That's what he get.
That's what I'm telling you. Where's the reparations for the people who said they was gonna storm Area 51?
But you know what's crazy though, bro? Somebody had said something about this one time, and they were like, when people take drugs, right?
Oh yeah.
What if they're seeing the world for what it really is?
Yeah, reality.
Yeah, as opposed to what it's not when we're sober. And I thought about it, and I was like, damn. I'm not gonna do drugs to find out, but they might got a point. Like,
talk about that's what the people say, the mushrooms and the DMT.
Yeah,
and
bro. I don't know.
All
man.
that other stuff, and I'm like,
all I know is that Area 51 does exist. I don't know where it's at. I just know it exists.
We don't know what's in there, but
yeah,
that was like Y2K when 2000 came around, and people like Area 51.
Yeah,
they got the alien mothership up there.
Man,
they got all type of UFOs. They got the alien bodies.
I will say though, some of these movies and shows got some truth to it though, so I wouldn't put it past none of this stuff that's going on.
Yeah, and speaking about that, movies, the truth, we have a Walking Dead, World War Z, what other zombie movies they got out there. Speaking of this, the world going crazy. This is the first page out of every scene of every zombie movie. So scientists, this is from CNN. Scientists have revived a zombie virus that spent 48,500 years frozen in permafrost. So on CNN, it says warmer temperatures in the Arctic are thawing the region's permafrost, a frozen layer of soil beneath the ground, and potentially stirring viruses that are lying dormant for tens of thousands of years, could endanger animal and human health. And that was A+ reading, by the way. I just want to say shout out to Miss Y from our previous story in English class. She helped me out there. But
I got a headache. Like, what the hell is going on?
like, what are we talking about? This is like, what, like, there. Are we saying scientists are doing it, or this is just happening because of global warming? But
Man,
this is the very first page of
when
Walking
is
Dead.
the damn rapture? We just need to wipe out 50,000 real quick so we can get this over with. I'm just playing though.
This is like the story, like the first scene, like you walking down the street and you think it's a crackhead coming your way. You looking at him, he kind of growling, and you like, okay, I'm just gonna stay away from him. And he come up, he just bites you. Now you zombie number 2.
Man, I don't know.
Like what are we really talking? Like, does not from aliens to zombie virus? Like what's next here? Like in the apocalyptic, like the movie, I can't remember the name. Like the Rapture movie. Like, are people just gonna stop? Are people just gonna start disappearing? And
Where is Thanos?
Their clothes just hit. I'm telling you, where's the snap?
Where is Thanos?
Where half of the people just go like, we're sitting here talking about
Right.
reviving, and in the picture here, we'll bring it on screen for y'all. It's like people digging through this layer of soil, the permafrost, like they having a good time. Like y'all don't got
No mask, no nothing, just vibes.
y'all. I'm
Like,
telling
what
you,
in the
like,
hell, bro? Like, how do you? What?
and-
All my science lovers out there, please tune in and help me understand, like, what is significant to finding. Like, I know there's probably cures and stuff like that, or whatever the case is, but you know there's people out here that try to weaponize stuff like this.
This is what I'm saying. Like, and who's letting these people go out here? Like, who's giving the sanctions for these people to go out here? They digging in the permafrost, whatever that means, and they extracting zombie viruses. And like how did these people just get to go home today? Like, they don't got in this picture, they don't got no protective gear.
I'm like, where's
Like,
the hazmat suit?
they got this man got on a trucker cap and sweatpants. Like, what are we doing? Like, and then you just get to go back home to like your wife and kids.
I hope that
and
dude.
they
I
give them
hope
the
that-
zombie virus.
I hope that had on what they got, the little sanitation station.
Mhm.
I heard they had one of them
Right.
joints.
Just hit him that. Like,
Because I know when my dad used to be in the field doing pest control, before he would come in the house, he would already have a change of clothes.
yeah.
So he would just take his work clothes off because he had all chemicals, whatever was on them, put in the bag, and then just put it right in the washing machine because he didn't know what the hell he was bringing back from the field.
Exactly.
I'm not getting that vibe from this.
He's getting precautious. Like,
But he
my
probably
man,
got on sweatpants and open-toed sandals.
my
like,
man got on Wrangler jeans. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we really talking? One dude got on sweatpants, the other one got on Wrangler jeans. Like, what are we talking about? You go home, kiss your wife in the mouth. Now y'all both wake up zombies, growling, hungry for people flesh.
like I Am Legend.
Like I'm not trying to be Will Smith out here. I'm not trying to have the armored up cars and the machine guns fighting off the doped up
'Cause
zombies.
you know they're gonna take more than just a couple rounds here and there, boy. You probably gonna have to put 50 rounds through that.
I'm
motherfucker.
telling you, I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm not trying to mess with none of that. So
I tried my best not to curse, but that shit ain't working.
they need to put these people on the island. So if you out here digging up the zombie virus, please,
Leave that
government,
shit alone.
I really hope that these people get on their own island. You put them over there, they not coming back with us because we don't want none of this. We don't want them to reintegrate into society.
We just try and go to work, come home, and be there for our families. That's all we trying to do. It's real ghetto out here.
Exactly. Ain't getting no less ghetto.
Right.
But
At this point, I want them damn aliens to come and take me somewhere. Shit.
right. It's like a vacation. You hitting St. Lucia. You
Give
hitting,
me a break. God damn it.
you hitting Turks and Caicos. Why don't you just hit the Milky Way galaxy? I'm
You know
sure
what
they
I'm
got some type of beaches out there somewhere. The aliens gotta have something. And it ain't like, I hate on movies when they got the
Like on
aliens,
Thor.
like they just be on the crustiest planet. The planet just crusty as nothing. Like aliens can't have buildings.
Oh, I got some.
They can't have houses. Like
They got
they
some
be
high tech stuff, man. I
They
know
be some
do.
under the dirt dwelling like creatures. I'm like,
Somebody's in a workshop right now somewhere trying to perfect. I said, dang, I can't even talk. Perfect whatever it is that's going on, and then find a cure for it.
I'm telling you. So it's like we sit here and if we say the aliens got the giant mothership that can put out pods and all that, but on their planet they live under a rock. They like the shit don't add up to me. Like, what are we talking about here?
Like, what the hell is really going on?
But speaking really, like, getting off this topic, speaking of reintegrating society.
On to the next.
Yeah, right. On to the next. Speaking of reintegrating into society, we got one of the funniest pieces I see in a while with Jake Paul. So Jake Paul finally took a L. All the talking, all the fighters. Well, what's the one he beat? Former UFC champ.
Anderson Silva.
Not Anderson Silva.
What? It wasn't him?
I can't remember dude's name. He got knocked out. He knocked him clean out.
I swear it was Anderson Silva.
Yeah. So he
Or Silva.
while you Tyrone Woodley.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knocked Tyrone Woodley out. So I'm like, okay, Tyrone Woodley fighter, but all the rest of the people when he fought Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, I think his name was. I'm like, you fight people who can't fight.
Joe, that Nate Robinson fight was embarrassing.
My man was jumping and punching like he's Mario. Like you not finna hit the block and get a power up. like what are we talking about?
You know what's so crazy? I'm not even gonna look it up because.
But I remember it was Tyrone Woodley, so he knocked him out.
That was a clean knockout.
But
though.
we were talking about, okay, Tyrone Woodley is a fighter, so like bro could actually fight. People thought Jake Paul was a joke, but recently he lost by decision to Tommy Fury. And the worst part about it was pre-fight, Tommy Fury's daughter was born like a couple days or maybe a couple weeks. And Jake Paul's quote was, she was born just in time to watch her dad get knocked out. So he loses this fight. He says it was the Drake curse because Drake was rooting
betting on
for
him or
him,
something like that.
and Drake done bet on his notorious back in the day for losing bet on people, then they lose. So it was a Drake curse and all that.
He probably the reason why all this Ravens shit going down too. But we're gonna get to that in a minute.
Drake might be a Ravens fan. But so the worst part about it is he has a run-in with Floyd Mayweather. So Jake Paul is out somewhere. It looks like he's outside of an arena. He got security with him, but you know, Floyd got security.
Yeah.
So Floyd walk up.
Realistically, he don't need security, but
Floyd walk up like 30 deep. Jake Paul said he was like 50 deep. And everybody's 7 foot defensive ends but even I'm watching the video and Jake Paul backing up, his security backing up. He said, we not the type of security that's built for it. So he started pressing up and Floyd's like, hey, let me come talk to you, blah, blah, blah. After the famous got your cap running where he took his hat, he was running around with it, trying to make a joke of him before he fought his brother, it's Jake and Logan, before he fought Logan Paul in the exhibition. So he probably want to talk about that. You want to take my hat off, or you done lost? I'm about to give you another L. So out of nowhere, Jake just break. He started breaking back towards the arena, and he tweets this. He said, Floyd will not see me one-on-one in a real fight. That's a fact. His team has hit my team numerous times to do one of these exhibitions, quote unquote. Now he ambushes me. Come see me in a real fight. No exhibition. Robins fans bullshit. So I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, you just lost to Tommy Fury. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
and your brother just lost to Floyd. So
and he's like a whole foot taller than him, 30 more pounds. I'm like, it's not when you come down to boxing, size does play a factor because that's why there is weight classes. But Floyd is the best defender of all. He's the best boxer of all time. He's never lost. And there's only a few times, 3 or 4 times in 51-0 or 50-0, whichever one it is, that he's ever even been stunned. He's the best defensive boxer of all time.
That boy is real surgical, but he does. Like,
literally a tactician.
That's what I was sharing about when with Tank being under his tutelage. Bro, it's crazy because you see glimpses of Floyd in the way that Tank fight, but Tank is more of the KO fighter.
Yeah, he got that power.
Yeah, so it's like when you mix both of those together, bro, you got some problems on your hands right there. It's a bad day.
Javonte's a cold demon, and like we said, that's the Baltimore guys. We all the way root for you. I said Anderson, Ryan Garcia coming up. You know we root for you, but like we said, learning from a guy like Floyd, it's like what are we really talking about, Jake?
If Jake Paul needs to learn from anybody, he need to learn from 6ix9ine about trolling, because all I want to say is now set that fight up, because he already beat your brother. Now I want to see him beat you, because like the internet stuff, like it's for likes and publicity and all that, but come on now, you just lost a fight. Now you telling Floyd to see you in the ring or 1-on-1, wherever. Just set the fight up at this point.
Right, just go ahead, get knocked out, get picked apart. Well, more than likely Floyd is getting picked apart. Just pick the pieces.
That would be just that would be just a fight for Floyd to stay in shape.
Right.
Like,
but that's what I was referencing. Like, more of Floyd's fights are like he just picks people to pieces. He makes you look like you are not a professional.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing. Like, he makes people look dumb.
Yep.
So I'm just like, you don't want to step in there with the greatest defensive boxer of all time, because he's going to pick you apart.
Because you let that shit go to 7 rounds, you're gonna be worn out.
You're worn out chasing
by
him.
the 8th.
You're gonna be throwing punches at ghosts, sweating, breathing hard. You're gonna be wanting to quit.
Set that up.
Set it up.
Set that up.
Well, speaking a pivot to more embarrassment. Probably a sore topic for you, but the Baltimore Ravens head office are facing some embarrassing times, because a week ago, even before this, right, it comes out that the NFL Players Association puts out a memo that said you cannot talk to any agents or anybody trying to submit deals on behalf of any players. And then it's speaking about some guy named Ken Carson. Nobody knows who this guy is, but the internet is just like, hey, this guy is trying to get 9-figure deals for Lamar Jackson. And we're like, we're looking at it. Me and you are in the group chat.
I'm
like,
just so confused. Like, what is going on?
Straight confusion.
I will say this, from the football season, bro, like, the Ravens have been in the spotlight every damn month for something.
Yeah.
Like, if we ain't winning games, it's about Lamar and what his future holds. Then it's about him not having an agent. Then it's about the non-exclusive tag. Then it's about no team wants to pay this. No team wants to pay that. Now he requested a damn trade. Like, he came out and said he requested a trade.
March 2nd. He said on March. So it's been 3 weeks, and nobody said anything.
Bro, I'm over it. I'm over it.
And to make it even worse, all right, Lamar tweets this, and I don't know if he knew, but I feel like he knew, because I feel like he's frustrated because of what happened, I think, the day after. So this is right before. Which one is it's John Harbaugh, not Jim Harbaugh,
it's John.
right? So the brothers, I don't want to get them mixed up. So John Harbaugh, coach of the Baltimore Ravens, he's set to sit down with the press, and then Lamar tweets this right before he sits with the press. So it's like a bomb. So they show after Lamar tweets it, it was like all the reporters mobbed him, and it's all just, hey, Lamar, what's up with Lamar? Is Lamar gonna be starting? He's like, week 1, I see Lamar starting, and I don't even think he's realized the gravity of like what's happening.
Was just said. I saw the interview, and I'm just like, yeah, he has no idea what's going on. Like, he literally got blindsided.
And for me, it is to Lamar. I like it because, like,
he putting pressure on him.
Yeah, you're on a 5-year rookie contract. The contract's up. You've done everything you needed to do, so you feel like you're blindsided. And it could be emotions.
Oh, it's definitely emotions. Because
And
he even tweeted that he was tired of being dragged through the mud or something along the lines like that. Because every time he gets on Twitter, and at this point, you might as well just go on a hiatus for a little bit, because anybody gonna say whatever they want.
Yeah, because did you see the recent reply he said to the random fan?
No, I ain't even see that.
That's why I said emotions. So directly after that, a fan was just speaking on Lamar's career, and I don't want to misquote it, so I'm not going to try to quote it, but Lamar said something to the effects of replying to it. He replied to the tweet, and he was like, STFU, we all know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And you've never touched a football or been on a football field in your life. You've never been on the NFL. and he's telling him to eat a you know what and all
Oh
that.
yeah.
And
I
then he
remember
had to
that. That was
delete the
during
tweet.
that was during the season after he had just lost a game.
Yeah. So
I remember that.
So it's stuff like that. It's just like all this peaking, him signing the signs during the season to pay
Not
that man.
even
Like,
that, bro. Like the whole training staff getting aired out by
Yeah.
previous Ravens players. It's bro.
and it's worse because it's
As a fan,
it
I'm
makes
tired.
sense.
I'm tired.
And it's the worst part because it makes sense. All these stats record. They show these stats and
Yeah.
charts that the Ravens training staff from the condition coach is the worst in the NFL, or one of the worst in the NFL, and that they're always they can't collaborate. They can't get together the different departments, and it comes to, you see everybody's hurt. It's not just Lamar,
That's what I'm saying.
and
My
now-
thing is, why is it that when Lamar gets hurt, he gets hurt 6 games back-to-back seasons in the pocket? I'm pretty fucking sure that there's a lot of quarterbacks that get hurt in the pocket and nobody talks about it.
exactly, and it's like
Now, Patrick Mahomes went out and played even though he was hurt. Guess what, though? He already has a deal.
right, and then they don't talk about it because it's like, oh, when Patrick Mahomes does it, he's the hero, and it's always gonna look like that because he won the Super Bowl.
So here's my question, though, right? So let's say Lamar listens to, instead of trusting his gut and saying, I'm not 110% healthy to go out here and try to win games, let's just say in the last season, because that was his last year on his contract, on his rookie contract, let's just say he goes out there and plays and tears his ACL. No contract signed, no nothing. He went out there off of straight faith
Yep.
and gets hurt. And the contract that he then wanted is now going to be probably the low ball offers that I've been seeing, even though nothing's been, all this stuff is alleged, nothing has been confirmed. Like $133 million for 3 years, whatever the case is. Let's just say he goes out there to prove that he can win a game and gets hurt and tears his ACL. Then what?
And now he gotta settle. He can't.
And then what?
He don't even got a choice not to settle.
That's the problem with the damn internet. Everybody's so gung ho on what somebody's supposed to do because it's not them.
Yeah. And to me, what I think about it too is like, does that play a part with the injury thing, right? Exclusively, because now it's a Ravens organization thing that everybody's always hurt because the training staff sucks, the strength and conditioning coach sucks, the nutritionist sucks, and this is all alleged that they bicker, they go back and forth, always arguing, the departments can't get along, but then you see it on the field. Lamar Jackson hurt, J.K. Dobbins hurt, Kenyon
Gus
Drake
Edwards
hurt, Bateman hurt, all the wide receivers hurt. Even now, one of the guys who's known for durability, Mark Andrews, is getting hurt. Like, all the Ravens are getting hurt. And I seen a chart somebody had posted that was like, over
grade
the
for
last
locker room or something like that,
the
and
last
training staff.
the last 3 seasons, it was for the players. Teams most affected by impactful injuries. So like your impact players. And it was like the Ravens were number 1 for the last 3 years straight. They're like the number 1 teams. Like, so it's like, and then Rashad Bateman has a tweet where he's like, tell them to take care of us. We stay hurt. We stay. And then I even thought, like, what are you talking about? That's on you. But then all this comes out and they're like,
about the
is
training
there a
staff.
culture problem with the Ravens? And does that lead Lamar to say, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to get hurt anymore. I want to go somewhere where they take care of the players. The staff is all on one accord. The head office is paying people what they need to pay. This is like for the longevity. So you're only 25.
Right.
You could play if especially we see it in not just the Tom Brady's and the Aaron Rodgers, but even guys like Matt Ryan, who's like arguably the unluckiest quarterback in the NFL. He's in his late 30s. He's still playing.
Right.
So you could, as a quarterback, you can make it your late 30s if you stay healthy.
Man, he's already surpassed what they thought that he would, or thought that he wouldn't, rather, because it's like when he first came into the league, he was just a running quarterback. Then when he started passing, he's not accurate enough. Then when he starts winning games, he hasn't won this many playoff games.
Yeah.
It's always something.
It's always
It's
moving the
always
goalposts.
something, especially with him. They don't do that with Josh Allen. They don't do that with Joe Burrow. They don't do that with what's his name, Justin Herbert. They don't do it with none of them.
Yeah. Especially Josh.
They haven't even done it with Jalen Hurts, and he had one of his best seasons since he's been in the league.
Yeah, and they're not gonna say, "Oh, he runs too much." We got to dial
Like,
that
come
back.
on, bro. Like
They gonna keep pounding that quarterback sneak. They gonna keep pounding that quarterback draw, and they're not gonna worry about it.
I just don't get it.
When Jalen Hurts does it, they say, "Oh, he squats 600 pounds, so he'll be all right." When Josh Allen does it, they be like, "Oh, he's 6'4", 6'5", 250.
When Patrick
he'll be
Mahomes
all right."
does it, it's the best thing since sliced fucking bread. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is, no matter where he goes, it's always a possibility that you can get injured. Just so happens that it was unfortunate that he missed 2 back-to-back seasons of 6 games apiece.
Yeah, which is the hardest because then people put that magnifying glass on you. And it's gonna be the media and social media that put that magnifying glass on you. But then it intensifies it because
you got people going out here playing their hardest just to get hurt to prove that they can do whatever and missing out on the whole season.
Yeah, and it makes
because then it would. You know what that will really happen? I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. You good.
If he was to play right and not sign a deal and then get hurt, everybody would have said you should have just sat the whole season out.
Exactly. You should have just sat it out anyway.
You should have waited until they gave you your money.
But look at this past season. They said, "Oh, his injury wasn't that bad. He should have been playing." No, he's not gonna play. Even if he can play, he had some type of knee injury, right?
Bro, and what he described it to be, and I watched the video on it, it was almost equivalent to him tearing his PCL.
Yeah.
Because it was a severe sprain. Like, the sprain was so bad that it was almost equivalent to him tearing his PCL.
I just remember the media was trying to play like, "Oh, he's taking a little far. This is an injury that he could have came back from at this point."
I saw him limping to the locker room. I knew it was more serious than what they portrayed it to be. I knew it was. I saw him limping.
Yeah, and it's like let's not get this like misconstrued. Lamar Jackson's a tough football player. He's not coming off the football field because he got a boo-boo. It's not happening. Like, so like the goalpost is continually moved, and then we see the politics with the Deshaun Watson contract and all this. And this has become really a mainstay on the podcast, but we have to talk about it. Like,
that's what's really messing him up. That contract is really what's messing him up because, one, nobody
should
wants
have
to
been gave him his money.
A lot of my friends will say that they should have signed him the year, like they should have, gave him an extension the year he won MVP, which they are right. But I just knew for a fact that his bag would have gone up regardless because I knew that eventually the league, the cap space would increase. Yeah. So I don't know what it is. I'm not a numbers guy, nor do I care to be anymore after dealing with all this shit. But, man, I'm just ready for it to be over with. If you're going to get a new team, go to a new team, cool. If you're going to stay, cool. I don't know. Bro, this has been going on, what, 3-4 years now?
Mm.
I'm tired of this shit.
And I'm personally upset because, like, Falcons are like the odds-on favorite to get it, and the Falcons just keep coming in the media and say they're making it. They're not even saying, they already said once he's not on the table. But now the trade room, he's asked for a trade, or I guess you could sign a different type of tender. Mm-hmm. So has nothing to do with the tag. So I guess it can be 2 different things. It's rare that it ever happens in the NFL. From what I was watching Shannon and Sharp, and he's saying he was saying, I said Shannon and Sharp, skipping Shannon, that Shannon was saying he's only ever seen this happen one time where somebody got tagged, but then they asked for a trade and they got the trade. I can't remember who the player was.
Yeah, it's very rare that it happens, but I'm not putting shit past it. If the Ravens let this happen, just know that I'm not going to be a fan because other than Joe Flacco, this is probably the only most winning quarterback that we've had in a while. And to let Greg Roman stick around for season after season after them tight end dives and wide receiver reverse screens, and you're going to give this man multiple chances, but you're not going to build around. Don't even get me started. I was fine until we started talking about this. I was fine.
It started getting hotter than that.
Yeah, I'm getting pissed off. Shout out to Loyalty World. I got a Loyalty World on my dome piece right now. But
don't worry, got the mesh in the back, keep you cool.
Yeah.
when the temperatures rise.
Steam's just, you can't see it right now, but I'm fuming right now. I'm a little mad. I felt like the Ravens were going to do right and not let this drama spill out as far as it did, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's 3 sides to every damn story, but shit. Come on, man. Get this shit over with. Because I need to know who I'm cheering for next season. That's what the bottom line boils down to. Because the Ravens, my blood pressure for the past 4 years, boy, I'm surprised I ain't have a stroke.
Silent one.
Watching them damn games, especially, oh, man. Next subject.
Yeah, well, speaking of hurry up and get it done, we talk about Pat McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers gets on the Pat McAfee show, says after the season, he went in some sensory deprivation tank or whatever, or he lived in like some complete dark and
hyperbolic
silence
chamber or something.
And then before he went in, he was 80% or 90% retired. After he came out, he had the epiphany. I want to play for the New York Jets. But the controversy is he says the Packers want compensation, but what the Packers want is like insane. They want like a first-round pick, a second-round pick, a player. I'm like, you're not getting that for Aaron Rodgers. We get it. Aaron Rodgers is one of the most proficient quarterbacks that's ever played in the NFL, but he's 39 years old and he's on the decline. Like, so he said the holdup is the Packers, and a story came out today that he's saying it's the Packers, but the Packers, as an organization, said we haven't even talked to him. We've reached out. He hasn't even talked to us.
Yeah.
So like, how can you say it's all Packers and you haven't even talked to the organization as a whole? I don't know who, the GM, the owners, Matt LaFleur is the coach. Like, who reached out to you? You just said, but your whole thing is like, the Packers also realize, you're about to hit 40. You're on the decline. Jordan Love's been riding the bench on you, learning, getting skilled. We seen him play a couple games because he had, I think, a broken right thumb. Jordan Love was out there looking good.
Yeah,
they probably want to push Jordan Love to be the guy. And I think he just feels slighted at that. And he's like, hey, well, y'all don't want me anymore. I don't want y'all anymore. I want to be a Jet. So it's like,
that wouldn't be a bad landing spot for him, though. I mean, they got some pieces. I was so mad that, well, of course, we weren't going to get him, but Sauce Gardner.
Oh, yeah.
I was
cold.
I was a fan of him, watching him at Cincinnati. I was a fan of him.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner is like, what's the Seahawks? What's that, Tyreek Woolen? I think him and Tyreek Woolen are like the 1A, 1B
they were
rookies, like best, and not just
Patrick
rookies.
Surtain too.
Best. Oh yeah, Patrick Surtain.
Yeah.
That's like 1A, 1B, 1C. These guys are just like killing it.
Elite.
And from the defensive position at that corner position, I mean, killing it. And especially you don't see rookie corners doing that. Like, it's been like a thing that's like, you don't take corners early because it's hard to transition from being a college corner to a NFL corner because every NFL wide receiver even is elite.
Yeah.
Like, even though we look at some dudes that are like the accessory dudes, is like, no, these wide receivers that are backing up the stars, they're still elite. They were the best people on a college team. It's like these are not slackers by any means. So I was just reading an article. I think it was like a couple of days ago. It was like pretty much taking a cornerback, unless they're like some prolific Sauce Gardner level talent, is like a waste of a pick. No matter how good they look in college. We back in this thing after a brief intermission, but we just say that to say this, like Aaron Rodgers, just make a decision. Packers, just make a decision.
Man, that's how I feel about Lamar, but it really ain't up to him at this point.
Like, but Lamar's different because we care. Like, Aaron Rodgers, he's 39. You on the decline. We don't care. Some people care. Packers fans might care. Jets fans might care, but I don't care. Like, I don't care if you're on the Jets. I don't care if you're on the Packers. Whatever team on, I strongly believe ain't going to win the Super Bowl. Like, it's like, let's hurry up with this. You getting on these Twitter shows and what all this. All it's like, let's move on with it. Like
it's a mess.
It's a mess, and
this is the off season for you though.
Yeah, it's been a messy off season to say the least for a lot of people.
Lit/messy because I done seen some couple trades and I done seen some moves being made. So I'm curious to see what this draft gonna hold, and then towards the summer or whatever the case is. But yeah.
And speaking of messy off seasons, we got our final topic coming across the board, another sports topic. We talking about not the NFL off season, but the NCAA off seasons. We talking about NCAA football. So we had Alabama football and 5-star freshman Tony Mitchell. So I'm assuming he's just got recruited. He's going this season. If not, he was a freshman last season. I don't know. I'm a Georgia fan, so I don't tend to lean into to understanding or knowing the Alabama players. But
yeah, I'm about to find a new team because after the whole Florida incident with the governor and all that, I'm about to find a new team to watch.
You got to pivot. You got to like the pivot podcast.
Shout out to Anthony Richardson, though.
Yeah, AR-15. I think he'll do big things in the NFL if he gets the right quarterback coach. because that's their biggest thing is him throwing questionable passes. Sometimes.
Yeah, but that's any quarterback. Just gotta have the right people around you. So hey.
So we have a 5-star freshman, Tony Mitchell from Alabama, University of Alabama. So Alabama football player attempted to flee cops at 141 miles per hour before drug arrest. So this guy,
Young and dumb.
about to be one of the best players on Alabama. I mean, 5-star recruit. When you talk about 5-star recruit, you one of the best in the country in high school. So, well, you got the potential to be coming to Alabama, one of the best players in the nation, go to college, make millions. So you arrested going 141 miles per hour with over 220 grams of marijuana and 7,000 in cash found in a Dodge Charger. And he blamed the passenger on why he ran. And this was his direct quote to the cop. He told me to punch it. But you, Tony Mitchell, coming to Alabama, I don't know if you were out there in Alabama, you at the campus, whatever, wherever you at, whoever's in a passenger seat, you are in the prime time position to be a multi-millionaire, to change your family's life. And you in a Charger running at 150 miles an hour with 7,000 cash, a gun, and weed, and you let somebody tell you to punch it, and you just punch it.
This is why it's important to surround yourselves with individuals that will keep you out of situations like this. This is why, as I got older, I separated myself from people that wanted to do the wrong thing. Because it's so easy if you get caught up or be at the wrong place at the wrong time or whatever the case is. And, you probably had a full ride to Alabama. You just probably, I'm 100% sure it's probably off the table now.
Yeah, and
you probably facing some serious time. Actually, no, you are facing some serious time because I don't know what the gun laws are in Alabama, but I'm pretty sure that's a felony.
And there's dudes out here literally like, you're the 5-star recruit. So it's like people already say, oh, yeah, you're the guy who's going to get easy. You got the full ride. You don't got to really work for nothing. You got to get out there, of course, on the field and work, fight for your spot. But, but I'm like, thinking all the guys who are trying to be walk-ons, the guys who are underrated, like the Cooper Kupps of the world, who like people looking over, stepping on to actually come up and be somebody later on. And there, a lot of people gonna look like, oh, you the overrated 5-star. It's like you just got the easy ride, blah blah blah. Not seeing how much work you put in, but then also now saying the people, and it's gonna be social media looking at and laughing, and people, hey, I told you so. I told you he's gonna be nobody. I told you he wasn't gonna do nothing. And it's like, for the sake of somebody that's in the passenger seat with you, which I'm guessing he knew, like, you don't have this
That's
much.
what I'm saying.
You don't got this much drugs.
And you don't
guns,
know.
And you don't know.
Maybe he
like,
did. I don't know. But still, why?
But even if you do, and it's like he told you to punch it, like, I'm out of here. And a lot of young guys, you're not gonna think that way. So you're not gonna think or feel that way.
So here's my thing, right? I'm banging this shit off my wrist. Damn. So here's my thing, right?
Yeah.
If this is your man's, and you know for a fact, not saying that this is right,
Yeah.
but if you know for a fact he ain't got nothing to do with this, bro, you gotta eat that charge.
Yeah, you got to.
If you know for a fact he ain't nothing to do with it, because you just now made him an accomplice because he punched it.
Yeah, and
He's
most
doing
people ain't
140?
gonna eat that charge.
I know he wasn't, but this is why you just gotta be careful who you hang around, because when shit hits the fan, I guarantee you he probably singing right now for that ultimate feast of Red Lobster right now.
Yeah, you got to, because a lot of people don't got it in them to take that charge.
Man,
A lot of people ain't gonna face down 10 years, 15 years.
I'm not
20
even gonna
years.
put myself in a situation like that. I wouldn't even put you in a situation like that.
So
Like,
they gonna hit the gunner when they said they pulled him over the car. It was drugs and guns, and he's like, "Oh, it ain't mine." And they both gonna be in there. It ain't mine.
yep.
And then y'all both gonna be looking stupid when that attorney, when that judge says guilty, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, and now you could have been a million. You could have been the next
Right.
whoever, because
That shit ain't worth it, man. It's like, I'm not even gonna blame it on rap music, because a lot of the rap music now don't even really glorify none of that stuff. I won't say 95% of it does. I'll say probably 75.
yeah, and a lot less than it used to be.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, it was none but that.
But
It
it's
was
just
none
like,
but
yo,
the Dirks
you
and all that.
know what's at stake. You know how easy it is to lose everything. The moment you got it, you can lose it just that fast. So it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, we was young once, but we ain't do shit like this.
Yeah, and I think about it too like that. Like when you young like that, you 18 years old, whatever.
Easily
You
impressionable.
don't got it in your head too. It's like
Yeah.
you just being with your boys. You just doing what you doing. So it's like you're not really thinking about it. So it's like I look at it too, where I don't blame him. Hopefully he comes out this on the other side.
Yeah.
He get out of this, change his family life, because I don't know what his family situation. He might have came from the suburbs. He might be from the trenches. You don't never know.
That'd be a hell of a
But
30 for 30. I know that much.
I'm telling you, if you that guy who really put in that work to be that guy, and then you eventually can make it to the NFL and do all that, change your family's life. Now you doing it up. You got the 30 for 30. You buying your mom a
'Cause you know what's
5-bedroom
crazy?
house and all that. You good.
Josh Gordon, who was known heavily around the NFL for smoking weed,
Yeah,
literally got blackballed because he couldn't stop smoking weed.
exactly.
But then it was like, yo, we know that you can play. You just got to cut down on smoking the weed.
Right.
Like my
But
man
didn't wanna
Stephen A.
do it.
say, stay off the weed.
I'll tell you. But some
But-
people, he wasn't the only one. I can't think of the top of my head, so I'm not
But
gonna
he
bring
made
it
it
up.
to the Browns roster though.
Yeah.
Like he can come back from this. He can bounce back. I
But they
just
just
don't
kept
know.
hitting him with the
Yeah.
drug program.
Yeah, I
Until they
just don't
say,
know. For this situation, it's kind of tough. I don't know. I hope that he can bounce back from it. I just hope that he learned a tremendous lesson from it. But I mean, you made your bed, now you got to sleep in it.
Yeah, that's all you really can do. But really aside from that, I feel like most of what we came here to do this week, putting out episode 3, we came here, got it done, did what we needed to do. Aside from that, we miss, of course, with the whole fellas. We kind of losing this week. We had a couple stories of the fellas going out sad. We missed our segment, our usual open segment. That was preaching to the choir. I had a special one this week, so I just wanted to double back to it because this week, as I've said before, and first-time listeners, you won't know. Repeating listeners, you will know. Drake is my number one artist, bar none. Pretty much nobody's close. And my preaching to the choir, what preaching to the choir is, we'll pick either a song or an album. This week, that got the aux in a stranglehold, in a chokehold. And mine is recently, I think in the past couple of days, More Life, my favorite music piece, compilation. I know it's not an album. He says it's a playlist of all time. Nothing's close. Turned 6 years old. So I've been just banging that. It's been in a rotation. And it's been my number one, especially if you talk about Drake. People won't say More Life is number one. They talking about the Take Cares and if you're reading this, it's Too Late and all the Scorpion or whatever they choose. But for
Each
me,
his own.
for me, I know it turned 6 years old, but it had the More Life as a personal story to me became a therapeutic album playlist because it's not even to make it a heavy subject, but More Life came out, and one of the closest people to me in this world, my grandmother passed 6 days later. So it's kind of like I don't believe in numerology or anything. So it's 6 days later she passed on the same year, and this year is 6-year anniversary of her passing. Shout out to her. God bless the dead. I love you very much. The 6-year anniversary of More Life, which is an album, a playlist, a music compilation that got me through that time. There was like a therapy through me to get me through that time. And then it happened 6 days apart. So it's like the number 6 or whatever. I don't know what none of that means, but it's like, it's kind of like symbolic to me. So it's like that 6 came up, and it's not like that 6. I know it's 3 6s. I'm not thinking about that. But it's just, but it's just like that number 6, whatever this number 6 means. Is like, it meant more to me this year. And I've just been like kind of going down memory lane with it. And it's been feeling good to just like listen to the album again. Cause I haven't listened to it in like a good, like, I'd probably say 6 to 9 months. So it's like going back and just feeling that again and having good memories with one of the person I love, the one of the original people that was closest to me. So it's been a great week.
Well, that means it's definitely gonna hit hard next year. 7.
Yeah. Because we all know it goes with 7 for me in this household.
Yes, sir. How ironic that we talking about L's, and the song that I'm bumping all week is Smino, No L's.
Oh, banger. We talked about that episode too, and I mean, I think that, like you said, from that last album, that's my favorite one by far.
No L's. I'm trying not to take no L's this week if I can help it.
And that's what y'all should do too. Focus on taking no L's. Focus on taking only W's this week.
Yeah. Attack the day. Always forward, never backward.
Get it done and go after it.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is for us. It's been another not only good day, but great day to be on NSP. A great week to be on NSP. Shout out to all y'all out there, the viewers, the listeners, however you're consuming the podcast, the clips, the short form content. If y'all like that better, we got that too. We broke it down into clips and shorts. So go check that out. Go follow the page at the Never Sunday Podcast. I think we did it up this week.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially the pace from like when you miss a week, it's like that rhythm. Yeah. Especially you got to get back into it, having a podcast conversation. But like
always, fine wine, it gets better with time. You know what I'm saying? As
always, shout out to NSP. Shout out to everybody
Loyalty
associated
World.
with Loyalty World, our presenting sponsors. You see the truckers down in front.
Always working.
Spring's coming up. Go cop that. We got some stuff for spring. Mr. Aaron, unemployed himself, always working. He just made a drop. Go get that. We'll bring all this up on screen. Loyalty World, always working. MG Firearms.
Oh yeah, definitely got to shout out my guy Manny and the crew. I believe they got some classes coming up soon, but just make sure y'all stay in tune. We're gonna make sure we post some content on the social media page, because I know YouTube real finicky about that. So
yeah, with the firearm stuff.
Yeah.
Bring it on screen and stuff, but on Instagram, go follow us on Instagram at Never Sunday Podcast. We'll bring that out, share it for y'all, so y'all go check that out. Go protect yourselves.
Yes, sir.
Make sure your home's protected, your family's protected, your people protected, and y'all living good, y'all vibing. And speaking of vibes, we always go out on the mainstay of our podcast. Your younger brother, Brandon, Mr. 2Icy himself.
Yes, sir.
Baltimore's own native son, a friend of the podcast, who's out there in L.A. doing big things, what acts like Free Party. A group out of PG has blessed us with a couple beats for the podcast that we use on our intros and outros. And as always, we go out on one with him.
Yeah, that's my favorite track, bro.
I like this one.
It's my favorite track.
Like we said, this a vibe. It was gonna be the original intro. We decided to go with another one, but we want to play this week.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, it makes you want to drop one of them Shimino, just smooth 16s. It feel good.
One pull.
Gone.